Well, Joe Burrow may be preparing to take on the Kansas City Chiefs this weekend, but recent reports say he also has his eye on farmland. Along with a few other athletes, they recently purchased a piece of Iowa farmland as an investment, and reports say that it may be just the start. But who can legally buy farm ground in the U.S.? John Phipps sheds a light on the matter this weekend.
Much ink and many pixels have been wasted, in my opinion, on rants about people other than U.S. farmers owning U.S. farmland. Surprisingly, critics are just as hard on wealthy Americans as foreigners. The target of the day is Bill Gates, but that opposition is almost identical to the boogeyman of my prime, Ted Turner. Then, of course, there is the outrage over anyone from China owning U.S. farmland, despite their tiny splinter of ownership, most of which came with Smithfield Foods. This outrage is tiresome, especially after tedious repetition. It seems little more than an attempt to solidify an image of American farmers as perennial victims. If American agriculture sincerely opposed non-farmer ownership of farmland, I think we would see laws to make that illegal, like they have in India. Not just corporate ownership prohibitions, which have not fared well in the few states that have tried them, but straightforward, outright bans on non-farmer ownership. It will be simple. Just place a bouncer at the door of every land auction or real estate closing and make sure only real U.S. farmers can buy, which raises a slight problem. There are no qualifications to be a farmer in the U.S., no licenses or permits, no apprenticeship common in many countries, no formal ag training or experience, no solemn oaths or professional membership. In short, a farmer is somebody who calls herself a farmer. There is also the issue of the rights of the farmland seller. Any law that restricts to whom they can sell strikes me as an economic taking, which is frowned upon by our Constitution. With no legal standards to identify real U.S. farmers, anybody qualifies. The minuscule amounts of farmland owned by multi-billionaires or non-Americans out of our roughly 900 million farmland acres clearly are not impacting our national ag economy or culture, especially since the overwhelming portion of that sliver is covered with trees or grazing range, not corn or beans. Besides, in case you haven't heard, as far as the Chinese are concerned, ag media has pivoted effortlessly from "they're buying up our farms" to "they're losing population to buy our corn." Sometimes it's just hard to keep track of our latest existential threat.
Well, when we come back, we're traveling back west to get a look at a Case 930 from the Sunflower State. Tractor Tales, that happens next.